Let's talk some sports, baby.
Taken by Iguodala. Iguodala to Curry. Back to Iguodala. Up for the layup. Oh, blocked by Jones.
And remember, make tomorrow better than today, and make today better than yesterday. And you know what we gonna do. We gonna holler at you until next time, baby.
All right, guys, let's stick in the NBA with some more news about a league restart. Last week, we laid out our own plans to kick off the season, and today the NBA is targeting the end of July for a return, and the board of directors meeting was held to vet some different strategies. 4 formats were discussed. So one is to simply finish the regular season with all 30 teams in one location, and the second is to just start the 16-team playoff, limiting the personnel required. However, there are several Western Conference teams on the bubble, and 2 additional ideas were vetted to have a play-in sort of style for them. One would be a World Cup-style group play format, while the other would involve 6 bubble teams and possibly the current 8 seeds as well in a separate tournament to decide the final 2 seedings. So Drake, the NBA seems to have a lot of options and might use its situation to spurn some of their own change. So what do you think is the right call here?
Oh, for me, it's the 16 teams. Here's the deal. I'm gonna cut straight to the chase. I thought you seen what I put down on last Friday. I think we talked about this, and my stance on this haven't changed. Here's the deal. If I own a liquor store, knowing it closes at 7 and you roll up at 7:30, guess what you're not going to get? Liquor from my liquor store. Depending on what state you in, head to Walmart and get you some wine, buddy. I hope that gets you your fix. Because here's the deal. The time is set for a reason. I'm not going to be here all day waiting on you. What is he talking about? Here's what I'm talking about. I don't give a rat's about the teams that didn't make it. We got the 16 teams that's in now. I don't want to hear about no bubble teams. I don't want to hear how good they was doing before the coronavirus. I don't want to hear none of that because you had 70 games to prove that you're one of the top 16 teams. That's it. That's bar none. That's it. So if you're on the bubble, hey, good workout, boys. Good workout. But you start your summer early. That's it. We're talking about something that involves safety. We want to minimize the footprint. We want to make it as small as we can possibly make it and give the fans and everybody something to watch. That means Portland, you're out of here. Pelicans, you're out of here. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I don't know what to tell you. But nobody's like, no one is crying for you. No one's feeling sorry. Ask those kids that were supposed to go play in the NCAA tournament. Nobody's feeling sorry for you. It is what it is. It get cut short. And I know what Jay gonna say. Well, this is professional, so it's a little different. You right. So the standard should be even tougher because it's professional. You get paid millions of dollars to be a good team, and you're not. So, hey, you're out. You're out. So for me, I'm going with the 16 teams. I like we was talking about before the show. If they want to start the season, however they want to do it with the 4 weeks, the 8 weeks, however, you take these 16 teams, you let them scrimmage, you take them all to Orlando, you figure that out, which I'm pretty sure is, Orlando Disney World. They got plenty of space to get this done for all things considered. You let them play each other in like an Olympic style warm-up match where kind of the teams go around playing each other in like exhibition style. They playing 5-on-5. They're getting their cardio up, getting their hand and eye coordination up, whatever the case might be. You let them play, and then once that time is over, you throw the ball up and let's roll, baby. First round, second round, third round, fourth round. And the reason I'm with that is because if you're not gonna split it up, Eastern Conference, Western Conference, if this is your thing, put all the teams in the one spot, then let's just get these 16 teams. Let's just get it rolling. Let's let the teams that's not going to make the playoffs start their summer early like they would do any other season, start their summer early. So I just don't see – I like what they're trying to do with these other options, but I just think it's unnecessary. They got an option for 30 teams? What? Everybody deserves a trophy? I don't want to see that. Like, ain't nobody got time – like, oh, let's play this play-in tournament. Look, that's a money grab. I'm sorry, but the NBA is on a money grab. I ain't got time for money grab. I'm ready to see these boys get to the nitty-gritty. I'm ready to see somebody, hold up that trophy. So I just feel like, look, if you're not in the playoffs, don't worry about it. They seem to have it pretty secure, safety. They got the logistics in a way. They seem like they got it pretty good for the 16 teams. Once they decide that they want to go ahead and implement this, we're hearing what, July 31st. We want to start getting this thing in the mix. So you already know who your 16 teams is. It's nothing to figure out there. It's nothing to figure out. Now you need to figure out, what format you want to go within the 16 teams is what I think the question is. Do we want to still separate it, or do we want to keep it one? Me personally, I want to see the 1 through 16. Here's why. I think it creates a good, interesting, trend to this. Like, how often will we get to see the Lakers versus the Nets, as a first round playoff? And like I said earlier, I think this is the season to, experiment. Something that you couldn't pull last year and something you might not be able to pull next year. Why not try it this year? Why not try it this year? Get good buzz, get positive reviews, and then maybe this is something to follow down the line. But right now, nobody's going to blame the NBA for trying. What are we going to say? We don't care. We're going to be like, oh, man, we got basketball. Oh, it's 16 teams playing interconference? Oh, man, that sucks. I'm not watching this. I'm turning this off. I'd rather watch Colin Kaepernick knee. Like, no. We're going to watch it. We're going to be entertained. We're going to be interested. And it can spur seeds for the future. So, yeah, man, this is easy for me. 16 teams, one spot. Throw that ball up. Let's get it popping.
Yeah, given these four options, going out from 16 teams, just whoever's in the playoffs right now, and then going all the way out to 30 teams. Yeah, I'm way more on the side of 16 teams. I see no reason whatsoever to bring all 30 teams in for just to get the season out to 72 games. And then you're going to have a play-in tournament after that. I mean, is there really any benefit to trotting the Knicks and the Warriors and some of these other bottom feeder teams out there? I mean, we didn't have any interest in seeing these teams before the coronavirus. Trust me, they're not any better after the coronavirus. You can rest assured of that. So based on what we've discussed last week and the options available, the 16 teams is absolutely the way they should do it. And to those out these teams that are close on the bubble, if you want to call it that way, your Portland's, your New Orleans is in particular. I'm sorry, Memphis has outplayed them to this point. Memphis has proved, and again, your record is you are what your record says you are. Memphis is better than New Orleans and Portland, and I think there's somewhat of a belief that the play-in tournaments and all these other, I think there's a little bit of a gimmick feel to everything with the play-in style things that are being discussed. And the thought process may be that, let's have a play-in tournament so we can get Zion in the playoffs. I'm sorry, New Orleans. It's unfortunate that Zion was hurt for the first half of the year, but just because he's Zion and you have Zion, that doesn't entitle you to some sort of affirmative action perk to where you can get this opportunity to come on and jump in the playoffs. No, Memphis was better than you, and let's be real. Let's see what Ja Morant can do in the playoffs. And Zion, we'll see you next year, New Orleans. New Orleans, you got every opportunity to bring it back next year, and we'll see you. And don't even get me started with Portland. Portland's been an absolute they've been a mega disappointment coming off a Western Conference Finals appearance, and now you can't even bother to win 50% of your games because winning playing 500 would have you in. Memphis is a half game below 500, and then you look out in the Eastern Conference, you have your Brooklyns and Orlando's. They're well under 500. They're 4 or 5 games under. So I got no sympathy for these teams on the bubble that can't even play 500 basketball. Get on out of here. So with that in mind, 16 teams, and if you want to work the seeding with your top 16, so not have traditional West-East matchups until the NBA Finals. I think Drink's absolutely right. I think if you want to experiment, this is the perfect opportunity to do so because no one's really gonna, have a big problem with it because the main emphasis is just give us something. We need to see some action at this point. and it's in slight contrast to the subject we're gonna talk about next. But the NBA, they're headed in the right direction. I think this eventually gets done, but I think the more simple, the better. Get the teams that are in the playoffs right now. Get them in one location. I think you still need to have about a 2-week period where you play about 7 games, some sort of round robin style, just to get everybody in the swing of things. Because the last thing I think you want to do is just get 16 teams there and start the playoffs immediately, because then you're probably going to see some poor first round action. That's just what you're going to see. So with that in mind, I still think you do need kind of a tune-up period for these guys to get back in the swing of things. But yeah, less is more. 16 teams, do it.
Yeah, I tend to agree. You know, we talked about this last Friday. We talked about all of our different plans. That was what I was rolling with, because my thoughts are to keep the impact on next season as limited as possible. We want to get this in. We want to get it done. We want to get a champion. And we want to get out so we can get ready for next year, where we can hopefully have fans back in attendance. Our TV deals can come back and go from there. The 30-team thing, you know, really is only for TV deals. That's the only reason they even have that on the table, because after 70 games, there's like a certain marker you hit for your television markets and revenue. And right now, with the revenue being limited, that's what they were talking about. But I don't really think that's going to be much on the table. The 22-team thing is a little interesting, because it does give you sort of a way to have the regular season with teams that are still playing somewhat meaningful basketball. Like, you're going to leave your Knicks and your Timberwolves and your crap like that home, but you're going to bring teams that could still be somewhat in the mix. The problem I see with the 22-team sort of deal, whether it's a play-in tournament or whether it's, you know, kind of make a mini regular season with just the teams that are still possibly playing meaningful basketball, your Wizards, your Spurs, your Pelicans, etc. It gives you more star power. And it gives you more, you know, you're getting Zion, you're getting Damian Lillard, you're getting the Spurs 22-year playoff streak. I mean, you're getting some more interesting teams, but
you get more storylines.
There's more storylines. There's a little bit more to watch. But I think the problem is you're running into a time crunch, because we're talking about late July that's getting started. What do we start our little mini playoff series, or our little mini regular season for a few weeks, where each team plays, say, 7 or 8 games or warm up, and then what, a play-in tournament for the 8 seeds based off of all the playoff bubble teams? An 8 seed has never made it to a conference finals or an NBA finals. So why are we focusing so much on that? I mean, I understand that the teams outside of the playoffs do feel like they've been shorted in a way, which, Drink, you're right. I mean, hey, you were in the playoffs. The season happened to end. You should have been the 8 seed. I mean, it sucks, but it sucks to suck, you know, tough luck. But I think that's the only way, because I can see what the NBA is going for, right? I can see them thinking, oh man, Zion and Lillard coming back from his injury, trying to lead his team back, and the Spurs, and they're like, you know, that's what they're trying to focus on. But I just, at this point in time, you know, if they were going to do this needed to be rolling already. You know, this didn't need to be something they were just trying to start now, and they're trying to cram it all in, because you're talking about running this into October and November. I mean, your next NBA season may not start till Christmas or New Year's, and then what? Next year's a half season. I mean, you start jumping into all these, you know, well then, and then you get into this huge mess, and this is going to carry on for years to come. So I like that the NBA is trying to think, and they're trying to use this. But if you get too wild with it, like, say, this World Cup style nonsense and making group stages and eliminators and round robins and whatever else, like, you're going to put so much of an asterisk on the champion for the year that it may not even be worth it. So yeah, I think the besides, you know, the 22 working it around, probably not enough time at this point. Take your 16, make the best matchups you can, however you want to see them, which you know, that's free to talk about, and then just get this on the road, and let's get back to playing ball, and let's get a champion.
Yeah, hey, real quick, and clarify this for me. You said no 8 seed has ever made it to the NBA Finals, right?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, Drake, help me out with this.
He said conference and NBA Finals.
Yeah, just to make sure we're giving accurate information. We were talking about this a couple weeks ago. Didn't the 98-99 Knicks make it as an 8 seed, in the Spurs?
They did. They made the NBA Finals. Yeah.
Okay, and I
didn't want to blow George's spot up, but we did. We talked about that, and then I think the Memphis Grizzlies made it to the Western Conference Finals as 8 seed. But either way, yeah, I mean, I get his point. His point is,
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right. I misread that. Yep.
Yeah, and by the way, and I don't say that to be, you know.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
But just so we're disseminate accurate information, and also the 2 buzzwords of the week are fact check. So I don't want to post this later and Twitter to censor me.
Oh yes, well, we won't want that.